just because I think it's important for you to reflect on them. Does anybody recognise that film? If not, I'm going to be upset, but I'll let you off.
Yes.
Go on, what was that?
The Kiss.
Yes, good. Yes, it's Kess, which is a film filmed in Barnsley in the 1960s. I'm very pleased that you got that. This is just selfish indulgence more than anything, and sometimes I do play the clip, but I'm not going to because of time. In that clip, he starts, the headmaster, and this is a real headmaster and real children, by going, same old faces. And then he goes on to hit them for smoking, so he canes them. Then he says something else, which it goes like, you're going to leave here with your hands ringing, already thinking about the smoking at break. Even when you could hit people, it didn't stop them from doing the thing that you didn't want them to do. My argument about punishment, sanctions, consequences, and systems is quite often fine for 80%, 70%, 90%, depending on your context. But what about those 10, 20, 35 that you've got? What it's not working for them because they're back in detention, back in the red traffic light, back in at break. And I'm sure the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So let's think differently. I'm going to, again, just really quickly say a couple of things just to poke you a little bit about why I think these aren't so effective, specifically for those children. What I'm not saying at this point is rip down your system, because that's not the best thing to do for any school. I'm saying we need to think a little bit differently for the children it's not working for. And some of the stuff that we think differently about, we can use for everybody. Quite often schools have got systems, traffic lights, C systems, things like this. If you was to flip that on its head and use it to manage the adults' behaviour, I don't think that would work very well, because I don't believe you behave as adults the way you do because you're scared of punishments or because you want a reward. If an old lady walked past your window now, and dropped a purse, would you steal it? I'm hoping there's some head shaking somewhere. That's not because you're scared of going to prison or because you want a fiver offer afterwards, is it? Because it's wrong. But where have you got that from? That morality or sense of right and wrong has come from relationships and experiences. And even if those experiences were maybe a little bit shouty or consequency or punishy, does that sit right with you now? It doesn't to me, as somebody that's now got a little fallen fold that might eventually go into a school. I don't want her grass to be flattened, is my argument. I would like her to go into a place where there's understanding, compassion and care, where she understands boundaries, routines, structure, because I've invested in giving her her understanding around the right and the wrong, and not to steal the purse or walk down the corridor properly. I don't want her to go to school and be scared of running down the corridor. I want her to walk down the corridor because she knows that's the right thing to do. But I also don't want her to come home plastered in stickers for walking nicely. And there's a balance there, isn't there, to be had. If I put the traffic light system in the staff room in your school to manage the adults' behaviour, you start the term on green, 10 weeks into the term, you walk into the staff room and see your name's in red. Are you going to think, ooh, I shall change my behaviour? You're not going to, as an adult, well-regulated, well-developed, hopefully, adult, think, my name's in a red circle, I'm going to change what I'm doing. It's the lack of connection to the thing that I have an issue with those systems. You saying C1 to me isn't saying, I'm not happy with you doing that thing. Can you do it differently for me? It's just literally you saying a letter and a number. And we're using that as a scaffold or as a fallback, and there's not much substance to it. Again, what I'm not saying is to rip that away. I'm saying let's be more sophisticated with the way that we use those things. We worked with a school in a big mainstream secondary school that was really struggling to get rid of that system. And we said to them, look, if you look at the data, loads of national reports out there, huge percentage of the children that are in your isolation space are on the SEN register, and legally you need to make some adjustments for them. So change the system from consequence 1 to support 1. And then consequence 3, instead of a senior leader in a high-vis jacket turning up and screaming at them, a key worker turns up and supports them. And it's literally the same structure, but we're just reframing it and looking at it a little bit different, from a different angle. 3 more things for you, really quickly. When you're driving home tonight, if you're lucky enough to have a car and drive to a place where you live, if you drive past a speed camera, what do you do when you get to it? Anybody?
Slow down.
Yeah. What about when you've got past it?
Speed up again.
So that's not worked, has it? It can control behaviour, manipulate behaviour for a short amount of time, but long-lasting behaviour change takes investment and relationships in people, is my argument.